All right, in Google Drive, you're going to see all of your shared folders for your PE cards for this spring. I have some directions in there for how to do this process. And then this right here is a template. So this is very important that you do not touch this one. This is what's going to make this process work. So in each of these folders, you're going to have an individual spreadsheet that is special for your course cards. So it will look like this. You're going to have 4 blank columns. This is where you're going to put your semester 2 rosters. Your full roster is going to go here, and then we're going to work on setting up this template. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go into Canvas and find your semester 2 PE courses. So if I go in here, this is my semester 2. I'm going to go to grades, and you're going to see every student that it is across all sections listed in your gradebook. Then what you're going to do once that loads is you're going to go up to actions and you're going to export. What this does is it's going to export a full student list and all of the periods that they are enrolled in. So once it downloads, you're going to see that here, and you can open up that spreadsheet. What we're going to want to do is we need to make sure that we have the student names as well as their periods. Now we cannot sort here, so my recommendation would be to just copy all 4 of these columns. I'm going to copy those 4 columns, and then I'm going to go into the spreadsheet that was set up for you, and I'm going to go ahead and paste all of those columns right here. Now, I don't really need column B and C, so I'm going to go ahead and delete those once they're in here, because all I need are the periods and the students. Now, I don't like that these are all kind of jumbled up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort this A to Z. This heading is going to move around. We're going to get that back to the top in a minute, but we have to sort these up first. So I'm going to go to that down arrow. I'm going to do A to Z, and you'll see that all of your first period students are together, third period, and they'll kind of group them by period. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find that header, and I'm just going to highlight these 2. I'm going to do a Control Z. And I'm going to paste these here. All right, so now that they're sorted, I'm going to copy all of my first period students. Just going to do a Control Z. All I need are their names. So I'm going to go ahead and copy. I'm going to go back up to my header, and underneath where it says Student 1, I'm going to go ahead and 2-finger click so I can find Paste Special. Under Paste Special, you should see something that says Transposed. And what will happen is all of those first period students will now be listed out horizontally, so your spreadsheet will work, okay? So I can go ahead and get rid of period 1 to show that I've done all that. I'm going to go ahead and delete these 2. And I'm going to just work through each of my class periods. So now I'm going to copy just all of the student names from third period. I'll show you one more. Control C. Now I'm going to go underneath Lucas Bedell, and I'm going to 2-finger click, Paste Special, Transposed. Okay, so I'm going to put here, this is period 1, this is period 3, and I'm going to continue doing that until I have a list of all of my students every period, and then I'm going to make sure that my name is listed next to every single period. Okay, once this is set, what you're going to do is you're going to delete these 4 columns. Once I've got all my rosters in, I'm going to delete those 4 columns so my spreadsheet looks like this. Now it's time to run the extension, so that way it will create my PE cards automatically. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go up to extensions. You should see something called Autocrat. If it's not installed, you're going to want to make sure that you install it first. And then you are going to come back to the extension and hit open. It might take a little bit to load, and that's okay. It's kind of a hefty system. So once it loads, you should see something that has a play button that you're going to hit. So once it loads, you should see this screen. You're going to hit play, and it will run the job. And then it's going to take a little bit, and you should see some completed links at the end when you're all done. So once you've run Autocrat, you want to make sure that you scroll all the way to the end. And if it runs correctly, you should see documents that have been created here for all of your PE cards. You can print those back to back. All of your students' names will be in there. If you need to edit any of the names later, you can certainly do these in these created documents. If you run Autocrat and one of these rows is empty, just run Autocrat again and see if it pushes through the document. These will all be in your shared folder. They might all end up here. Just go ahead and move all those up to your individual folder so that way you can store them for later use.